All right. Good good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for staying around for the business Ibadan Business Summit. I'm going to be talking about building a personal brand that prints money. And first of all, I just want to celebrate every dignitary in the room. I want to celebrate the host, that's Mr. David Gabriel, the foremost digital marketing, expert. So I want to celebrate you, sir. I want to celebrate every other person in the team and every dignitary sitting there right now. I'm going to take us in a very short discussion, and I want to please crave your indulgence that you pay attention to this particular discourse. It's going to be an exciting one, it's going to be insightful, and I'm just hoping that you would learn something very massive from this lecture. If I had to start from zero with no audience, no money, no reputation, and I had to build a personal brand that will make me money from scratch, this is exactly what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to read some of these things so that while I'm discussing, it's going to be points, after points. But one of the things I want to do is I want to also express myself. So I'll be going through my notes a little bit, and then I'll be expressing myself to you in a way that you will clearly understand exactly what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, so I'm talking now as someone who has built a personal brand. When personal branding was not common, I said something on WhatsApp. I was always engaging my followers. I saw every contact list on my WhatsApp as potential business clients. And so what I was doing at that time was that I was building my personal brand. I was building a kind of perception that I wanted people to have, about me. And that led to me building a business, especially a creator business that, allowed me to train more than 1,000 students, talking about courses that I created and all of the books that I created and many things like that. So I've built a personal brand on WhatsApp, and yet I've started to build one on Instagram, on TikTok, and the rest. And I'm going to show you some of the things I've done, some of the things that I have learned, and I'm still trying to implement, and some of the things that I've not even implemented yet, but I know are already getting people results. They say that success always leaves clues. And so if we can look at what people have done before or what people are currently doing, we can definitely find out patterns that can eventually lead to our own success, even as we build our own brands. And so um for the past 3 to 6 months, I went on a very intense study about personal branding. And I didn't just study it as someone who is a creator or a content creator. I studied it as someone who is building a business, because so many persons are online not because they love social media. To be honest, a lot of people are online because they want to build something for themselves. They want to make money online. And this is just the reality of so many persons. A lot of people even eventually become just content creators because they were looking for the money. But I'm going to be teaching you the balance, exactly how to be a content creator and still build, as a business owner. So I'm literally teaching you how to build a founder-led business, even in this creator economy. So who are the people I'm speaking to? Number one, I'm speaking to students who are in business but do not have so much of money yet, and they want to make a lot of money, especially from the online space, because they have seen that the online space is very, very important in this day and age. Number two, I'm talking to someone who is in business, a person who is in business, and he or she has seen a very huge opportunity that personal branding can bring. All right, and these are two categories of people that I'm talking to. Let me quickly tell you one of the reasons why personal branding is very, very important. Number one is personal branding is very important because of the kind of person that it makes you to become. A mentor of mine, faraway mentor Myron Golden, said that how did he put it down? He said all work works. He said it's either it works on you or it works for you. If it works on you, that's good. But if it works for you, I mean that's good. But if it works on you, it is working on you so you can become the person for whom it can work. I'm going to come again And I'm going to break it down. So it says all work works. It's either it works for you or it works on you. If it works for you already, then you are good to go. But if it works for you on you, it works on you so you can become the person for whom it can work. Meaning that there are so many things that you do that are currently working. All right, they're making you money, they're doing all of the things you want it to do. That's fantastic. But in the case where it does not work for you, then that work is also working on you, and it is working on you so that you may become the kind of person for whom it can work. That means eventually it's going to work for you, but somehow it's working on you first of all. And eventually, what personal branding, making content, running ads, all of these things, what it does to you is that it actually works on you. It makes you a kind of person that can receive, attain, achieve success, someone who can build success, you know. And this thing is very, very cogent because at the end of the day, it impacts on the kind of person that you are or that you become. A lot of us are already great, but we need to become great, as in we need to actualize that greatness. Most of us need to become an expression of the greatness that is already on our within. And so, um, what personal branding does to you, first of all, is that it makes you that kind of person that can achieve success because there are many things involved: consistency, clarity in vision, communication. It helps you to learn. I'm talking about that other reasons why you should actually engage in building your personal brand, especially as regards bringing profit for your business, even if you're a founder led. Your business can do well alone, but as a founder, one of the things that you should make sure that you are doing is that you are building even social impact, social proof. You are building your personal brand such that you can attract opportunities, you can become the best name in your industry in days previously, in the days that have gone behind us. So many persons have become great even without social media. All right, and that's because of the peculiarity of their age. But if you look at the kind of generation we live in right now, you will discover that a lot of people, we are in an influencer generation. We are in a generation that has a lot to do with social media. So social media cannot be neglected because you can find people most on social media. All right, I was just reading through the things we wanted to learn, and someone said, where do I even find clients? You see, one of the places that you can find unlimited amounts of clients is social media. And that's why a lot of people are cashing out on social media. The truth is that you don't even need to brand to make sales on social media. But if you want to make the kind of sales that you desire, if you want to also make a name for yourself, if you really care about adding a touch of probably excellence, credibility, opportunities, and all of these things to your name, then you need to take your personal branding very, very seriously. All right. So I'm going to move from there now. Why you should build a personal brand. I'm going to move now to this subtopic that I called the only way to get clients in any business. There is just one way. I have studied over the years, and I know you should be able to argue with this, but I've come with a submission to say that there is just one way to get clients in any business, whether you are doing it offline, online, whatever it is. And that one way is to get and talk to more people. That's the only way. Take it from me. Take it from me. The only way to get clients, the only way to make people buy from you is to talk to more people. And now I'm going to divide that into several subsections, so that we may explore that now in a very short time. Number one, how do I eventually, and what do I mean? Maybe I should start with what do I mean by talking to more people. Number one, what it means is you are trying to get more eyeballs to know you. You are trying to get more persons to know you, to see you, to know your offer, to know, to like, to trust you, and then to what eventually buy from you. Because the end goal is that people eventually shop with you, buy from you, and all of that. So, um, getting more eyeballs to see what's up, and that's why traditional businesses, one of the things they do is, you know, every generation looks for where can I find more people. So in the age before us, you see people putting their businesses on newspaper. What were they trying to do? They were trying to allow more eyeballs to see their business because they know if many persons read, about them on social media, sorry now, on newspaper, these guys are going to, a fraction of them are going to buy what they are selling. you know, a generation also was trying to engage, the radio, the traditional television, and all of these things because people are watching AIT channels, NTA, VCOS, and all of these, you know, media platforms. So what people were doing then was that they were they were leveraging the name and the credibility of these platforms to sell their products. Are you seeing this now? And then a point came, people started doing billboards also, so that when people see, until today, people are still doing billboards. Churches, businesses are still putting themselves on billboards, which still works because I mean, people have to, transport themselves from one place to the other, and they will definitely see it. They'll come across it. So you see, all of these methods work, and that's why I'm not just going to say, "Oh, content is the only way." No, the truth is that content is not the only way. You know, social media, personal branding, and all of that is not the only way. As a matter of fact, there are people that have just two followers online and they are making a lots of sales. There's a way to just go about these things. I mean, I'm sure that Mr. David is going to take us on these things very seriously. So there are many other ways, but one of the ways, one of the most important, and that's why this program is very holistic. May you just take some moments to celebrate the convener again, because what he's doing to you today, you probably do not even understand how impactful this is. I celebrate you, sir. Thank you so much for giving us this privilege, for me to speak and for everyone sitting in this room right now to listen and to you know make some progress in their mind and then in their hands and later in their wallets. All right. Thank you so much, sir. All right. So I said talking to more people. I'm going to give us three subsections under that, how to get clients. Number one is running ads. You know, putting your business in a newspaper is running ads. You are trying to run an advertisement. You're trying to make people see what you are doing. Putting it on radio and television is also running ads. All right. Nowadays, people use podcasts. I hope you know that people actually pay to get featured on podcasts. This is one of the ways our generation, people in our generation, sell their product. That's why podcast. So that's how some podcast expressions actually get the money that they get. Another way is to partner with people, do lives, Instagram live, TikTok lives, and all of these things. Another way is to run Meta ads, Google ads also. People put their businesses on these platforms. These platforms are like, they're like walking shops. All right. And what they just do is that because you are always on your phone or sometimes on your phone, once you open your phone, you get to see what people are trying to make you see by force because they put a certain amount of money on that stuff. So I can sit down here right now and record a video, put some money on it, and then allow that money to go and target the people that I want to see this particular video. And guess what will happen? When they see the video, when they watch this video, if they know me, or they already, number one, know me because they've seen that video now, they've seen my face. I'm exposed to you. And then if I do that every day, I put money on it every single day, then people get to see me every single day. And they're like, from knowing, they begin to like me, and then from liking me, they say, okay, this guy should not be a fluke, then it should be, real. This person should be real. And then eventually they like me, they trust me, and sometimes they get to buy me and then buy my product. Sometimes, buying me is still the process of knowing, liking, and trusting me. Then eventually they buy whatever I'm trying to sell. Sometimes they do not buy what I'm trying to sell because they still do not like me. So everybody's not going to like you. And that's why you need to get more eyeballs to your business, because according to the rule of business, about 10% of people that see what you are doing, all right, get subscribed to it, and then another fraction, 10% of people again from that 10% gets to eventually buy from you. So at the end of the day, 1% to 3% of people that come across your stuff gets to buy whatever you're selling. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. All right, I'm trying to rush so that I'm going to make my submissions in a very short time. Number two is creating content, and this way I'm going to emphasize today because Mr. David, Mr. Ali, and other people are going to take us, Mr. Emmanuel are going to take us on this journey so much. And so I just want to lay some foundations critically for my session, creating content. And number three is building relationships. This has to do with events, gatherings, referrals, you know, just connecting with people in some way. And a lot of people still do. In fact, let me burst your bubble. You can see traditional media, Punch, Sun, all of these newspapers and the rest, TVs, are now on social media, and they now have pages on Instagram, pages on all of these platforms. You know why? They have pages because now what they have done before is not enough to. And in business, you have to every time evolve. You have to evolve. I'm going to also show you some things that have evolved in content over the years. You've got to consistently evolve as the generation is moving. Technology has come in, AI, all of these things are coming, and now some of these mainstream media, they are coming now to express themselves on other platforms, so that eventually they can preserve their relevance. And so, one of the ways you can even do whatever you are doing is to now go pay to those media, and then just find a way to get yourself in the headline and now carry that stuff and post on your page. People will think that Sun actually featured you, that Punch newspaper actually featured you. Yes, meanwhile, you paid for them to feature you, and then now you have brought it to your own page. It just doubles down on your credibility again. I'm just saying that that's what a lot of people do across different, industries, real estate, construction, oil and gas, and well, some of those industries. So imagine saying Mr. David Gabriel, the foremost marketing expert, is hosting a training in Ibadan, all the way from Abuja, just like that on a newspaper. When you bring that from that, so you just paid for it, you bring it now to your own page. People are like, wow, Son featured you. You paid for Son to feature you because Son, we are now, engaging leverage, the leverage of the name that Son has built, Son newspaper, and then we are putting that on our. Well, that's not what I want to teach. So let me just go ahead. Now, I'm going to go straight down to my own business, which is content. I've done a little bit of introduction, about 15 minutes now, just to show you why personal branding is important and also the ways that people have been making money and all of that. Now, so I'm going to go straight now into personal brand. And there's a lot about personal branding. Personal branding does not have to do with content alone. However, I'm also going to streamline myself again to content. So, on content now, there are ways three important ways or three important things that your content should create, that your content should actually contain. Sorry, if you are building a business online, there are three things your content or your personal brand should do. Number one, your content should, and it's called the ABC framework. I think someone should write that down. It's called the ABC framework, and the A starts from attracting people. One of the kinds of content you should create should attract people. All right, it should attract people. Number two is to build trust or to build their desire for you and your offer. Number two is B, which is to build desire for you or your offer, or for you and your offer, whichever way you want to put it. And then number three is to convert the people. There is called conversion content, to convert the people from people who just see your content to clients. All right, from content watchers, from content engagers to your clients. So these are the three things your content should. So whenever you ask yourself the question, what's this content meant for, your content should either be trying to attract people to just see you, to know you and all of that, or to build people, to build their trust, to build their desire in what you are trying to offer them, or number three, to convert them into clients. All right, so for instance, if this was my YouTube video, I can be doing this particular video to ensure that you are converted to a client. So I'm trying to show you my credibility, the things that I know. So when you see most people on YouTube, most people are trying to actually sell you something, or they are trying to buy your attention to become watch hours so that they can now make money from their. I'm not going into that, so don't let me complicate it for you. Um, so I'm going to talk about attracting now. What the attract content does is that it's a broad kind of content. You see, when you see a lot of people that are popular, that are influencers on social media. See, one of the best things you can do to your brand is to become an influencer of your brand. All right. And the way to do it is not just to be posting about your brand every time. The way to do it is to People love to, how do I put this thing for you now? People love to see not just that part of your life that always has to do with, this is a big mistake I made. If you go check my social media, you see me teaching, teaching, teaching. No, people love to see other aspects of your life. People love to see, what do you like? What do you hate? What do you stand for? What are you against? Look at almost every of your creators. Let's look at someone like Eric Guaga. Now, one of the things this guy does is that he lets us see that, oh, he's a Christian, he's a faith-based, whatever. But however, he has certain value system. So he doesn't like it when someone is probably exposing their bodies, trying to buy a generation because they have money. All of these things. These are things he stands against. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. If you look at someone like even Tony Elumelu himself, one of the things you can see him standing for is always going out there for your business. So you see him every day posting on his status how that is here today in Ghana, tomorrow in the US, the same day going to 5 different countries, just hustling for his business. You see him sometimes saying, out for my daily 2K. What 2K is he looking for? Just showing us that he's a main player in his business. I don't know, it's like the power supply is going to go on off soon. So let me just try to round up what I'm saying. So there is interest, there is what you stand for, what you stand against, the pillars of your brand, all of these things, this is attract content is where trends come in, where lifestyle content comes in. All right. And then let's move to build content now, the content that builds people. This is where you talk about your offers. This is where you talk about why you do what you do, what you are doing, what people stand to gain. You talk about parts of if you're trying to sell something, you're trying to sell a product now, that's where you begin to talk about the functionalities of the product, how you are using the product. Imagine me trying to sell this, wear now. This where I start doing videos, where I'm wearing it and then I'm pairing it with, my wristwatch. I'm wearing the kind of shoe I want to wear. I'm meeting influential people that this is the kind of clothes to wear when you want to go and see influential people. That you are building trust in the hearts of people, showing them that this particular fashion designer is the best that I want to go for. Do you understand? So building content or content that builds is where you talk about your words, your why, and and these things are so deep that I can never cover everything in a very short time, because now you have to go into what am I even going to say in the content? Your hook, the body, the CTA, that's call to action. All of these things are supposed to be there. In fact, one of the things you are going to have to learn after now is also storytelling. How you can, tell stories in your content, because your content should sometimes contain storytelling content and all of these things. Well, I'm just going to talk about number three type of content, which is the content that leads to conversion, the content that actually sells people on your offer. So if I'm going to try to sell this particular stuff, I will have to tell you, okay, I can open it and show and put cold water or hot water inside, and I'll tell you that, okay, so I close it and then I can just put 20 minutes later, I open it and you see uh, 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 the the gas that comes out of it, the flames that comes out of it. Now, sorry, I'm not getting the right word, but you get what I'm trying to say. So just showing you that it preserves the temperature of whatever is inside it. Do you understand? So I'm trying to sell you, if I'm trying to sell you that this thing does not change the temperature of what you are putting inside it. I can also try to sell the fact that it's something that influential people use, and just get a lot of influencers to just use this. I can try to sell it as something you take to the gym. So every time I'm going to the gym, I show you, I'm just trying to. So these are types of content that convert, that makes you want to buy. I can even sell it. Maybe this is a magnetic stuff. I can put my phone on it, and in the gym, I'm just so instead of carrying a tripod, I'm carrying this alone to the gym and showing you that this particular stuff is very useful for even your content as someone who goes to the gym. It's very, very important for you to know. What are the steps you take to get to that particular content that makes you want to buy. So All right. Maybe I should just quickly talk about the fact that I'm sorry for the network issue. So maybe I should just quickly talk about the fact that convert content or conversion content now, you are supposed to talk about the what, the when. You are supposed to talk about the implementation. And I mean, you're supposed to talk about how people can do stuff, how people can purchase and all of that. But let's imagine you're selling a course, for instance, you're supposed to leave the implementation. That's where they come to you to actually purchase what you are selling. A lot of people make that mistake of even teaching the implementation, the how. You don't teach the how, and if you teach the how, you are supposed to teach the how and leave the implementation until people join your class. Then they will now know exactly how to do it. If you are selling a product, right, you can go look at someone like this guy, Sakin Motor, the guy that says, my brother, and that says if you don't buy it now until you hear sold. You can just go right now in the room, go to Instagram, type out SARKIN, then MOTA. You see the guy, it's going to show you everything in the car, show you everything, but it's telling you now again that see guy, you have to get this car or else you're going to get sold. And many times when people come to get the car, they just show you sometimes how that this car has been sold out. That's conversion content. It tells you that see, come around and just get this thing once and for all right. And there are so many strategic ways people do this, right, you know in this age and time. Let me teach you quickly how to get content ideas, because there's just a little amount of things I can cover. How do I get content ideas? But before I go to that, your brand should answer this question. I want people to come to me when they need dash. It's just a statement. I want people to come to me when they need personal branding advice. I want people to come to me when they need digital marketing services. I want people to come to me. Just can have two dashes, three dashes, but let them be related or interrelated. All right. I want people to come to me when they need what dash. So, what answer your question? What is that thing for you? When they need, braids, wig installation. These are real things that people are doing. When they need to buy yogurts that have to do with their health, when they need to buy or when they need home cooking services, these are important things. So your content will revolve around that. But you're going to be talking about your desires, the things that you do not like. You're going to be talking about several pillars of your life. If you're a gym person, talk about your gym. If you are, these are things that real creators do, that founders are now doing. When you're going to speak in an event, you're going to put all of these things there because you want people to be able to see that you are a real human being behind the big business that you own. This is part of the reason why you see Otedola even online riding bicycles sometimes. He's trying to show you the behind the scene of his life and a part of his life that makes him interesting. And it makes you try to love him. Are you seeing this now? So when he's selling his book and all of that, you're even inquisitive. I want to even know what this man did. Today he's riding bicycle. What's going on here? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. This is what most men of God are doing now. That they put their shots every single time. They are trying to convert you to go and watch it on YouTube. When you watch it on YouTube, you will love the ministry, you will come to church. Do you hear what I'm trying to say? And sometimes they show you other areas of their life. Look at someone like Apostle Uriel. What's he doing? Currently a filmmaker, a songwriter, all of these things, they are on his page. Do you see this now? Someone like you are as old as them, Dr. Dike Olukoya and the rest are. You can see them on their birthdays. They are posting, he and his wife, just all these emotional moments, trying to show you that these people are real human beings. People want to see more than your business on your page. That's why your page is a personal brand. There's difference between personal brand and business brand. What I'm teaching you now is your personal brand. You are supposed to also carry your business on your head. In fact, your personal brand can make a lot of money more for you than your business brand. That's one thing you don't know. And that's why when you look at people that are doing Fela Toye, and many of these people, they are building strong personal brands for themselves. Strong personal brand in such a way that even when the real business they are doing is not making money, they can make money from creating products and other services that people need. Consultation, all of these things. You are too big, too experienced to not build a personal brand in your industry. You are too experienced to not build a personal brand in your industry. All right. Well, so how do you get content ideas? You can open a new Instagram page or use whatever you're currently using. I'm going to be using Instagram as a reference. You can use other social media platforms. You can open a page, follow 20 people that inspire you, people that are real creators, creating almost every day, right? Then what you want to do, listen to me, don't reinvent the wheel. All right. So what do? You look for their most viral posts. Most viral posts is not what our algorithm supports. Most viral posts is what people like to see. Algorithm, replace algorithm with people. What people like to see. And let me tell you something. A lot of people say, oh, you don't need to have many followers. I do not have a lot of followers currently, but you need to have followers. I'm telling you, you need to have followers. You need to have people that see your content. Maybe not just followers, right? You need to have people that actually love your content, because it is until more eyeballs get to see what you are doing that more people will buy what you are trying to sell. All right, your niche can be unsaturated, but if you are an industry leader in your niche, you're going to make more sales than someone who is not building a personal brand. All right, so the truth is that you actually do not need a lot of followers to sell, because you just need to start from somewhere. However, you should have the goal of having people follow you. People actually love what you are doing so that you may make a lot of sales in your business. So, what are you looking for when you go and follow those people? You create a Google Doc, and the things you are looking for is that you are, whenever you watch a content and you see that this thing has a lot of comments, lots of likes, and lots of engagement, or something that you really want to replicate, follow, try and find the link, get the link, and then go to your Google Doc and save it. You should have different Google Docs. Number one, for format, content format. These days, people are not even putting camera in their front again. People are yapping on the internet, carrying the phone and just talking to the camera. I know someone who creates 10 videos per day. He has grown his page from zero to 206,000 followers in the past 6 months. That is massive following. Already has bought a Lamborghini. I'm trying to show you the fact that there is real money on the internet, and if you can be consistent, we can give ourselves a challenge to be consistent on the internet, and there's no limits to what you can achieve. All right. So, what are you looking for? You are looking for the formats. What are people doing? Some founders are yapping now on the internet. They know that you do not have to set a real camera. You can just carry your phone and do something. Go out and check Alex Omozi. It's currently testing it right now, because he has seen that you do not need a camera to make and create content. A lot of them are trying to get more people to follow them. There are people that do not even know Alex Omozi in this room. That's why the guy is hustling all the way to try to make sure that you know him. Myself, I'm trying to speak well today to ensure that you yourself, you know me, you like me, and you trust me. Eventually, one of these days, you may do business with me. Do you understand? We are all trying to get eyeballs and the eyes of people in our business so that we can make sales. All right. So what am I saying? You're looking for formats. You are looking for the hook. What did they say in the first sentence in their video? For instance, one of the ways I started this video was to mention that if I had to start from zero with no audience, no money, no reputation, that is the hook that I found from a viral video. So you also, every time you want to create something, you can find a hook and then just write a sticky note, put it on your camera, or just hold it somewhere around your camera, and then make that particular video saying that stuff. It's that simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. All right. And then look for the framework, the structure. Okay, after this person said this, what did they say next? After they say the hook, what did they say next? Some people say, and that is how I built my brand to have 1 million followers. If I add that, I would have said it. Do you understand? So you need to find, you can say, and that's how I've been doing business for 10 years consecutively and raising over 120,000 clients, even with few followers online. These are statements of credibility that make people say, okay, I must pay attention to what this person is saying. And if you feel you do not have credibility, I'm telling you that there's something you can say. There is definitely something you can say. All right, you can even say according to research, you can change your. So you need to look at the format that people are using to speak, the framework, the structure of the messaging. Okay, this is what they said, this is what then the body of this. So you don't have to say exactly what they said. Bring in your own perspective. As a matter of fact, people are following you for your own opinions and your views, your unique perspective. That's why people are following you, and not because you have said what another person has said. All right. Next, you want to the sections you want to create in your Google Doc. That's what I'm talking about. You want to create a section for topics. So when you watch a video, you are saying, okay, what did this person talk about? How does it relate to my brand? Okay, I can come up with this topic, in a way that it relates to my brand. Once you, after you're done with this class, what's going to be happening to you is you are not going to become a traditional consumer anymore. One of the things you'll be doing is when you once you see a content, you're already thinking, what can I do to this to make it mine? Because nobody's doing anything special. Everybody's copying on the internet, and you've got to join the bandwagon. This is how you are going to make it with content. All right. And the next thing is you need to talk about it in your own unique way. All right. I need to say this. I need to say this. One of the things I do when I'm watching a content and I see this content has a lot of, comments, a lot of likes, a lot of shares, and this person is about to make money from that comments. Maybe he said, um, type desire to get in or whatever, and people are commenting desire. That's him already trying to make sales. So what do? I take my phone, on my laptop, and I put it close to my phone. I go to ChatGPT and press record, and I play the content on one of the devices, maybe on my phone or my laptop, and I'm recording with the other device. Do you see this? So when I'm done, if you click stop on ChatGPT, ChatGPT is going to translate everything. I will take all of that and carry it to my Google Doc. That's an entire script. Now I need to study the structure of that script. That's what the person said in written form. Do you understand? You are not scripting it that. Okay, if you want to know, you are not doing that. Now you have recorded it, and the ChatGPT has translated it from audio to, I don't know if you use ChatGPT well. You see, when you speak to it, it will first translate it to written form, right? Before it now answers. So, you take that and then you put in your own writing on it. Do you understand? Just copy the hook and then maybe the way the person wrote it, and then put in your own, the way you express yourself on that. And then that's going to become very interesting. You can memorize it, you can read it, you can use edit app on Instagram, and I'm just trying to teach you the application and then put it, there's this transcript or something like as translator or something, I don't know. Just put it on it and then you're going to be reading just from your screen on your phone. And if you want to use the camera, you can just record it. You can even do it in section. Make mistakes. The editor would, edit all of that. Let me say this to you. To get more clients, you need to create more content, especially if you're starting from scratch. Do not compare yourself to someone that has a lot of money to spend on ads. There are some of you here today, what you are going to be learning is ads, but there are some of you need to learn content, and that's what I'm already teaching. You need to implement it. And let me tell you something, stop overthinking it. Go ahead and create. Put it on trial reels. If you are not sure, put it on trial reels. Trial reels will tell you what to do well. If you create 10 contents per day, 5, 3, 4, just be putting it on trial reels. Anyone that does it, you can ask what All right. I'm so sorry. Just coming back from we had a minor issue. All right. So I was saying that um to get more, you have to create more. To get more, you have to create more. All right. And let me just round off saying this by saying this. Number one, how do you want people to feel? All right, when they watch your content, how do you want people to feel? This is something you have to make. Every of your content must be able to make people feel a certain way. Do you want them to feel empathetic with you? Do you want to all your posts must be relatable? All right, you have to do more volume. You can use, I already said you have to do trial reels. Mr. B said you have to do like 100 videos before you can prove that you're even good at making content and all of that. Now, don't always wait for polished video. I already mentioned that also. And other platforms, you can do what I'm saying. You can do TikTok, you can do Reddit. Look for what your clients are talking about on Reddit, Reddit, and that will help you to be able to make better content. And don't forget that your content that you still use for ads, you have to create content to make ads, or you use static ads. You know, I believe that Mr. David is going to teach that. And then let me say this to you as a final close: treat your content like a business operation. Your content is like the customer representative that goes to bring customers and say, please come into my shop. All right. When they come into your page, they buy whatever you're selling. All right. Especially if you're not running ads. So treat your content as a business operation. The amount of people your content can go and meet and say, please come, is the amount you are seeing there: 435 views, 200 views per day. Your content is reaching 200 people to say, please come every day. So, when you see 200, don't make it seem like as if it does not make sense. And when you see 40,000, just know that the amount of people your content has gone to meet to say, please come, there are a lot of people. And don't forget, some of them you never watch till the end. So that's why your content has to have views. You have to optimize for it, but you have to first start by saying, I will be consistent first and see what happens. You're going to get confident on camera. You're going to exactly know what to say as you keep doing it, and you know what your own audience love, what they want from you. All right. Let me say this: personal branding is the biggest appreciating asset that you can have in your business. And so let me just encourage us to please go ahead and keep creating content. Because of time, I'll not be able to proceed, but go ahead, create content, learn storytelling, especially what I call story selling. Well, if you want us to connect, just visit me on Instagram, Dr. Abiodun Oluwatobi, and then we'll connect from there. Um, Further from there. And then if you need my phone number, you can just get it from Mr. David if he decides to leave you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. I celebrate once again my host, Mr. David, and I celebrate every other speaker and every dignitary right there in the room. And I celebrate you listening to me because you paid attention, and your attention is a valuable asset. Thank you so much. My name once again is Dr. Abiodun. See you again next time we talk. God bless you. Thank you.